Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell, get all the updates. Really excited for today's video. Holy crap. I know mostly what's in this box. Some of the specifics, I'm not probably quite remembering. It's quite a box. I've been very fortunate. I've gotten some really cool beer lately. This is exciting. So I got it open, and let's do it this way. It's from Ross. Thank you so much, Ross. Obviously, I've already told you that off off video, but thank you on video. Let's get into it. So I forgot, actually, you mentioned this. You're going to send me a mystery beer. I'll probably do this for a Tuesday. One of my, Tuesdays I try to test my palate, do something that I don't know what it is, or, something that's maybe a little different outside my comfort zone, etc., etc. And mystery beers are like the perfect thing to do. Wow. This is nuts. I'll just grab them as I can. All right, so from Revolution, this is Straight Jacket, barley wine aged in bourbon barrels, 15.8%. Wow, that's crazy. Our barley wine ale features American and Belgian malts, which provide the base of this extraordinary ale. After 12 months in bourbon barrels, the award-winning Straight Jacket emerges with notes of stone fruit, toasted coconut, molasses, and vanilla, coming in waves as you swirl the glass. Enjoy now or store cold. I'm just realizing, do they release a non-barrel aged version of Straight Jacket? I don't know that. From Revolution, this is Mine Shaft Gap, a barley wine aged in cognac barrels. Our barley wine ale takes shelter in cognac barrels for 12 months before emerging imbued with characteristics of one of the world's most storied spirits. French oak adds character that is subdued but complex as compared to American varieties, making this a perfect beer for the best of times or the end of times. Enjoy now or store cold. End of times in 2020? Who's thinking about that? From Revolution. You might see a theme emerging. Double barrel VSOD, Imperial Stout aged in bourbon barrels, 17% ABV. 17. Oh, sorry. All right. Double barrel VSOD, Imperial Stout aged in bourbon barrels, double barrel aged for 2 years. The absolute pinnacle of the, again, depending on who's telling me how to pronounce it, Death or Death's Tar lineup. Double barrel, very special old, again, Death or Death. Sits at the intersection of extremity and sophistication. During the second year of aging, a small number of specialty selected, again, Death Star, barrels are blended, then finished in the fresh Weller Special Reserve barrels and Weller 10-year barrels. Wow. Just need a moment. Wow. From Revolution, this is Honey Jacket Barley Wine Ale with honey. We're not the only ones who've been busy since last deep wood season. Revolution's only permanent residents, residing in a hive on the brewery's roof, have been pollinating local flora and producing honey for the past year. Not to be outdone, our brewer selected a crop of 18-month-old bourbon and rye whiskey barrel-aged English barley wine ales to imbue with the bee's golden elixir, worth the welts. Enjoy now or store cold. And this one is 13.2% ABV. Cool incorporation of the bees and the beehive into their artwork. From Revolution, Rye Way to Heaven, rye ale aged in rye barrels. Seems appropriate. This one is 15.8% ABV. And bourbon and rye barrels work together in harmony to breathe life into our rye wine. This unforgettable ale is brewed with over 60% rye, yielding entirely unique malt and barrel-derived complexities. Enjoy an ample an ample body that suggests sweetness but still finishes smooth and dry. That's interesting. Enjoy life now or store cold. From Revolution. Death or Death by Cherries. So yeah, I have reviewed this beer. It's freaking phenomenal. How the cherry works and does not overpower the base beer. It really the subtlety and how it interwove with the beer, it blew my mind. And usually, like, thinking back on it, if something blows my mind, it's usually because it's so big and bold. And the cherry, it was the opposite. It was because it was there, not overdone, and again, just how it was so interwoven with everything else. It was so good. Let's shift from Revolution and see, there's two other beers in this package. I don't know. Let's see what they are. Like, I don't really know what they are. Holy cow. Birthday. I feel like it's my birthday. Old Forester, aged in 11-year-old. It's 11-year-old Old Forester. Birthday bourbon barrels. This is Goose Island Birthday Bourbon, the original county brand stout. Bourbon County original brand stout. Sorry, it's the way it's worded is out of order because of their font choices. Sorry. Brewed, barreled, and bottled in Chicago to commemorate the birthday of its founder, who released America's first bottled bourbon in 1870. Old Forester has released a limited edition, vintage dated expression for the past 19 years, birthday bourbon. Hand selected by the master distiller Chris Morris and master taster Jackie Zykan from 11-year-old barrels from a single day of production. The 2019 birthday bourbon release is truly a one-of-a-kind expression. At 105 proof, the 2019 birthday bourbon was the highest proof to date for this release. Notes of rich oak spice and black currant, coupled with hints of light maple, caramel cake, and white floral, create a unique flavor profile that will never be replicated. And then from the Goose Island side, I'm going to guess, brewed with respect for tradition while with a unique story to tell, these barrels and beers are meant to be shared. Well, unfortunately, my wife doesn't like this style, so I'll have to drink it myself. But Ross is sharing it with me. He's sharing the wealth, so thanks, Ross. Each of our Reserve Bourbon County brand stout vintages highlights the complexity of a specific type of barrel from a carefully selected distillery. For this year's release, our friends at Old Forester asked if we would like the opportunity to highlight barrels from one of their most sought-after releases, their birthday bourbon. We couldn't be more thrilled to present this expression of the Reserve series made with these rare barrels. The release of 2020 Birthday Bourbon County brand stout offers beer and bourbon lovers yet another chance to savor the union of some very special barrels and our signature stout. We cannot wait for you to try this unique one-time release. Great packaging. I mean, they really nailed that. And that is no truer than the other one. And I'm so glad someone posted a side-by-side for me. Sorry, it's like spun around. Not that anyone should care about that. Whatever, it's facing forward now. But anyway, this cutout looks like the bottle of Weller's, which is pretty cool. The top's popped off, so I'm just trying to keep it. Not the beer. The beer's fine. Of the paper, the box. All right, so aged for 2 years. Barrels are 12-year-old Weller bourbon. It says the cellar, it develops in the bottle for 5 years. I think this one also set up to 5 years. Weller's Wheated Mash Bill yields some of the world's finest bourbons, but it also helps tell the story of the spirit itself. Founder W.L. Weller is credited as the first to use a wheated, quote-unquote wheated, bourbon recipe rather than the traditional rye. He spent a lifetime educating drinkers about the new, quote, softer and smoother tasting bourbon. Finding a bottle of Weller bourbon is always special, but to enjoy a pour of the longer-aged 12-year expression is a true treat. As such, we couldn't be more excited to celebrate the year's anniversary Bourbon County brand stout, an equally unique beer layered with those softer notes of wheat and subtle nuances found in Weller 12-year bourbon barrels. And then the other side, back in 2008, Goose Island was lucky to receive 23-year-old wheated bourbon barrels from Buffalo Trace Distillery. After aging for 2 years in these rare barrels, the Bourbon County brand stout was bottled and became the first vintage of Bourbon County Stout Rare 2010s. Released on an iconic day, Black Friday, this set a new precedent in the Bourbon County Stout family of beers, all of which continue to be released on the day after Thanksgiving. To celebrate the 10th anniversary of our Black Friday releases, our brewers teamed up with Buffalo Trace once again for this release. 2 years ago, we filled the highly sought-after Weller 12-year bourbon barrels with Bourbon County brand stout and left them to age yet again for a 2-year period, a celebration of tradition and continued collaboration. Cheers! Yeah, you see what I'm saying? This is this is amazing. Yeah, thanks again, Ross, man. I really appreciate you hooking me up and helping me out with these. I'm so excited for each and every one of these beers so much, and yeah, I really appreciate it. So yeah, thanks again, you guys. I really appreciate you watching, and check me out on Instagram on Untappd, No Hype Beer Reviews on both those places. So always please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, drink barrel aged beers. Cheers.